Greetings, YouTube. I know that this week, heck, this month has started out really weird and to a lot of summoners frustrating. Even though it's the month of May, I call it the month of dismay because May seems to be dissing us with so many issues in the game. Yes, I've heard you, even though I haven't made a video about it. I'm just going to remind people that now more than ever for some accounts, in fact, now for the first time ever, you're seeing that Nick Fury bug where he will turn into the quote-unquote real Nick Fury immediately when the fight starts. And even though there are some people who argue it's a pro player bug, not when you lose health and you go down to 20% health, you don't have that first. Because I always look at Nick Fury as the health shield. I don't know, maybe I'm the only one. Before you have to turn into the real guy. Because you can lose 100% of health and still feel like you've only got half your life gone. So if you're in Alliance War, and you know every death matters, and you turn into the real Nick Fury, you just can't afford to get hit much before you get knocked out. And yes, you're going to cause better damage and crazy bleed damage and all that, but you just have less of a margin for error to make mistakes. And to me, that means it's not a pro player bug, at least not in that setting, but I get if some people disagree. Regardless, if you watch my channel every day, not just because I hate it. Like, I can make a video saying, this is the greatest side quest of all time. This is an A+ offer. You know, it might get like 1,000 views, which 1,000 views is 1,000 views. But, you know, it's a positive video that's promoting the game and actually complimenting Kabam. People don't like to watch that. But you make a video about how they're stealing from players because they're threatening to suspend accounts because of a bug that they created, and it blows up. It's human nature for whatever reason to enjoy being negative or angry. I don't know. But I'm saying all that to say I can be critical, but I can also praise. And if you watch this channel every day, not for the views or for the certain videos, but just in general, and I really appreciate those that do, you know that I love to give Kabam credit where credit is due. And last night, when I was doing my live stream, I had a couple people who are Conqueror level tell me that what they would like me to do in a video, and I said, yeah, that's a great idea, is to compliment Kabam on the most beginner to like sort of like MCOC middle class side quest event we have seen in 2021. What do I mean by that? Well, normally when you get up to epic and especially legendary, you're fighting 35,000 PI defenders with crazy nodes that require a decent roster, at least rank 4 5 stars, but ideally rank 5 5 stars and rank 2 to rank 3 6 stars. This month is not that, at least not right now. Now, we know that round 2 might get harder, right? We know that round 2 might get harder, but in the meantime, I just have to say that even if round 2 doubles the difficulty, and in the past it hasn't when it's been this kind of format, you gave summoners in chapter 1 the legendary Nexus Crystal, and even though I haven't done a video on it, I received, I wouldn't say a lot, maybe like between 10 and 20 screenshot submissions, and even though the drop rate to get a 5-star in a legendary crystal is 20%. The drop rate to get a 5-star in a legendary Nexus crystal seems to be 40 to 50% on average. That is an incredible addition to especially those middle tier players who don't easily get 5-star shards based off their progression. I truly think, even though it might take some revives, that Conqueror players, heck, I don't know if Proven can have access to it, but maybe they can. Proven players, but especially on Collected and Above, of course, can clear Legendary without much problem if it follows the same pattern of the first round as the Chapter 2 and Chapter 3 would. And yes, you have the in-game players who are complaining, and it drives me nuts, that the side quest is too easy. One of my favorite ever events, and those of you who are old enough in this game remember Gwenpool Goes to the Movies, and I made a video, God, it was like yesterday, just venting about the MCOC elites, saying the event was a waste of time because you could auto-fight it. Well, we had such major overheating issues, and some of you are telling me that your devices are overheating right now with the major issues, so I don't want to discard that or downgrade it. But basically, Kabam knew that devices were overheating and potentially being damaged, and we had player reports where they were bringing them into like Verizon or AT&T, and they were saying, "Yeah, I delete that app. It's corrupting your phone or destroying your phone." And that was a really crazy thing to have to tell Kabam, "Hey, can we get some compensation? My cell phone carrier is telling me that your game is destroying my $1,000 phone." So they didn't actually give compensation formally, but they gave us this side quest event that the PI in the most difficult of rounds was like less than 5,000. I'll never forget it. Now, this isn't that easy, but it still is really fair. And I am so thankful Kabam has done that, because those of you out there, especially Conqueror players around that progression, maybe you've got a couple of rank 4 stars, you can do this. You can totally do this, and you will be rewarded handsomely. This is the event for you. And if you're an in-game player that is staring at this thinking, "Prof, it's too easy, I need a better challenge," well, why do you think Karina's challenges came out this month? It was to give you a better challenge, to give you something that you could spend a ton of revives trying to complete and fully explore. And yeah, this is going to be a heck of a lot harder than the May side quest. So, yes, it's important to be critical when shady things occur, but it's also important to give credit where credit is due. I always say, a problem is only a problem until you have a solution. And I don't want to be the channel that is Mr. Negative all the time. I get that certain people's perceptions of the channel will always be that, because it seems like the only videos they tend to click on are the videos of me being critical. But please remember, there are plenty of videos where I'm praising Kabam, not just for offers, but for pro player moves, especially with things like Glory Store updates. And this is another example where, yes, it may be a lot easier than the average side quest for Cavalier or Thronebreaker players, but this isn't for you this month. This Karina Challenges is. The side quest is for those middle tier players that really need to open more 5-star crystals, even 4-star crystals, to get rank up resources. I'm so happy that Kabam has made the difficulty what it is for you. My channel is not an echo chamber for the elites in this community that clear everything on day one and are the best of the best. It's as much, if not more, for the casual summoner that maybe isn't even in an alliance and maybe plays this game once or twice a day. Sometimes you just log in and you're looking to just escape the stresses of the real world by opening up the app. That's why I exist. That's why I play this game. To relax and to unwind. And not to basically get a super duper high from clearing really tough content. That's why I don't do Alliance War. And for those of you that are burnt out, if you're still doing Alliance War and you leave an alliance that no longer does war, you will be amazed at how much better your mental health is when it comes to the game. Not only do you not lock up defenders, probably some of your best champions, multiple times a week, but you just don't have to worry about getting wrecked and hurting your alliance. And now that we know that war is one of the places that is most common for game crashes, for crazy, terrible lag this month, and like that Nick Fury bug I referenced at the beginning, war is going to be harder than ever, and some people's alliances, unfortunately, are not forgiving at all when it comes to making mistakes. And so I just say, just leave war. Alliance Quest is more user-friendly, pro-player-friendly than ever before, because there aren't as many link nodes, especially in something like Map 5. So you don't have to screw over your alliance as much as they wait for you to clear them, and that is amazing. And so I would argue that the game now is set up for semi-retired players like myself, and once you get to that semi-retired state where you're not doing war, you're doing kind of a casual alliance quest, you're opening crystals, but you're relaxing, then suddenly the love of the game comes back, because it's at your own pace, and it doesn't feel like a full second job. Or some people tell me they feel like they spend way more time on this game than they do their actual job. So that's food for thought. Let's make sure this video doesn't get to 10 minutes. That's always my goal as much as I can, so we're going to end it here. Thanks for all the feedback, especially for you Conqueror players. I hope that this video gave a voice to your appreciation of the side quest, because in this case, Kabam definitely deserves some roses for their ability to have middle tier players progress this month.